Yo, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Conversations with Cogee. Hey, I've been out, man, just getting some rest, getting it together. Y'all know how hard I've been working, but sometimes you got to take a minute and regroup. You know what I'm saying? I definitely had to do that to come back stronger and have a great show for you guys today, and I feel real good. And what I want to do, let me go to my co-host right now, Miss Peaches. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Cogee. Glad to be here with you today on such an important topic. And I know you say you got some rest, but I think we all know who know you best know you keep on working hard.
Yeah, you know me. I mean, even though, I was out, I was still, me, I got a game plan. I got to get ready for what's to come. But Miss Peaches, let's talk about today's show today, autism. Something that really needs to be talked about. The awareness really needs to be up. People really need to know, what's going on with this situation, because a lot of parents are getting hit with this, and it's a lot of children suffering from it, and it's a lot of children that's overcoming it and, and having a great life. But, a lot of people seem to think, okay, well, if I have a, autism child that, man, I just done lost my child altogether. But we have great guests in the studio today that's here to say, no, that's not true. That's just a gift from God. That's just, we look at that today on this show like that's just like a little added extra gift. You know what I'm saying? Where you can really sprinkle your love on that child and really help this child overcome something. But you can also learn some beautiful things through this situation. What you think, Ms. Peaches?
Oh, you're so right. And, I think today it's so important to bring awareness like you are, to bring awareness, to bring understanding, from the community and also from family
Wait a minute. Ms. Peaches, wait a minute. I can't hardly hear you.
I think that the show is really important because it brings understanding. The awareness that you're giving will bring understanding, understanding from family members, and patience. Patience is a big needed asset when you're dealing with autistic children, or children that also suffer from Asperger's disease as well, which is another form of autism. So this is very important, Cogee. And then to get the word out there, we have a lot of foundations that are for cancer research and this and that. There's still so many unanswered questions when it comes to autism, and it's only right and only fair that parents get the answers that they deserve.
Right. You're definitely right about that. And what I'm saying? We got Andrew DeVitt. He'll be in soon. And, I got a lot of love for this guy. He's coming to the studio right now. I mean, he's been through a lot, with his organization, with the fire and all that. And we're going to talk about that. And, I just think that's cold-blooded that you would do this guy like that. But not only him, but he's a fighter for the community with these children. But you didn't hurt him. If you do anything to hurt any of us who's trying to help the children, you hurt the children. That's the sad part about it. But the sad part about it is it's just somebody that they had a part of their business that they trusted that, at one time brought something good to the business. And we don't know where it went wrong. We're going to talk to Andrew about a lot of stuff today. But we also going to talk about his heart. We're going to talk about his passion. We're going to talk about what made a young guy at 17 years old say, you know what? It ain't about me. I'm young. I could be out running, playing, skateboarding, doing anything, but I want to save a life. I want to be something big in this world, as far as not my name up in lights, but with my great deeds and the great things that I can bring to this world that'll help children overcome. What you think about that, Ms. Peaches?
I think it's amazing, and he is a great example to the young and the old that it's never too young to start something great in life, and it's also never too late to start something great in life. So we just need to take his inspiration and use it to our advantage, right. Because obviously he has a lot of fire for the right things in life, and that's a beautiful thing to hear, Cogee.
Oh yeah, he's definitely, he'll be in a few minutes, but I definitely want to send some love to all the people of Boston. I want to do that. That's something else that is really cold-blooded, that you would do some people like that who's out running, for a cause, or running just to get in shape, or trying to bring something to the world, and you would do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. To take, that's like taking the gift that somebody loves the most and taking it away, or trying to ruin it and sabotage it. And I feel that's what was done, because anytime you have people who are running, they've been training for a long time, right. For years to be in this huge Boston Marathon, which is a big deal, Cogee. That's like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
And then to take the legs and arms of people that have done that. I mean, that's just unfathomable.
You're right. I mean, like I said, my prayers go out to the families. My prayers go out to the victims. My prayers go out to the whole city, because right now they still in fear, somewhat in fear. And we shouldn't have to live in fear. You know what I'm saying? But, this is our world right now. And, I got to give it up to all our people in the militaries. And I definitely want to give it up to the law enforcement of Boston. They got on it immediately. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. And that's what it takes. So what I want to do right now, like I said, we're going to take a break for a minute. And when we come back, we definitely got a great guest in the studio who's going to come in. And he's definitely going to bring the knowledge. And he's going to show us, what we need to do through conversation. He's going to tell us how we can overcome anything. And he can definitely share his heart with us. So I can't wait to hear his story. Y'all know I'm going to push him with these answers now because I want all his great information. So he'll be in when we come right back. Everybody stay locked in. Title of today's show, Autism. You think you know, you have no idea. You have no idea. That's what I learned studying this. But, like I said, we got a different title. But there's so many different titles I can go with for this because we got to be strong for our children. We got to be strong for the families, but we're going to be strong for the community. Much love, guys. Stay locked in. We'll be right back. Hey, we back, everybody. Welcome back to Conversations with Cogee. Everybody all around the world. We streaming worldwide. Can ask our guest anything you want to ask him. I mean, because autism, it's affecting a lot of families nowadays. I think they said 1 in every 100 child will have autism. I think I'm right about that, but if I'm wrong, I got somebody in the studio right now who can clear it up for me in a few minutes. See, I like throwing it out there sometimes because I'm not always right, but I can find out if I'm right or wrong, and I can get y'all the right information coming soon. Miss Peaches, are you ready for this?
Yes, I am ready for this. This is great. We have our guests in the studio. Woo-hoo.
Oh, yeah, and I definitely want to dedicate that song to the families out there who's, having it rough going through this right now, but they overcoming. And I wanted to definitely donate that, to my guests and, him and all his workers and everybody at his facility, what they going through. I know they're going to be strong enough and they're going to make it through this because God definitely has a plan for them. And we're going to make sure that it work out for them today. So we're going to roll the red carpet. I'm going to get my friend in. I can't wait to talk to him because he's going to tell me if I'm right or wrong about what I just said. So our producer Jay going to roll the red carpet for him today. You and Miss Peaches going to trade up today a little bit.
All right. Well, when Andrew Devitt was just 17 years old, he began working with children with autism in applied behavioral analysis home programs. He enjoyed working with the kids, but felt that there was something missing. The kids he worked with were struggling to make friends, and they didn't do any typical activities like other kids. In 2010, Andrew took his passion for working with children with special needs and combined it with his love for skateboarding and action sports. He took the children he worked with to the local skate park and, using ABA techniques, taught them how to skateboard, ride bikes, and socialize with other kids. He saw huge results, and his kids were riding bikes independently, learning skateboard tricks and making new friends. That original concept is still the central idea of Sports Social today, teaching appropriate social interaction through instruction in sports and the arts while using ABA therapy technique methods. We want to welcome Andrew Devitt to the show.
Andrew, what's up with you, man?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man. Hey, it's a pleasure. And let me tell you something. I definitely wanted you to be on the show last week because we had a lot of good stuff to talk about. But sometimes, life takes us in a different direction.
Yeah.
But God definitely had I say he had a plan for this. Now, what I mean by that, not with the fire, but I'm talking about even through the fire, something was supposed to make you stretch out. And that's what's happening right now. You stretching out and you rolling off faith right now. Like you said, when you wrote that I got the faith that I'll have this back up in time, within a month or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is now you're getting to see who really love you and care about you because you said the community's been showing you so much love. And you've been putting so much love out there through what you've been doing, working with children, with autism ever since you were 17 years old. How does a young guy at 17 years old get something inside him to say, hey, it means more to me to help somebody than to go play, with my crew, my boys, to go swing in a tree, to go ride skateboards, bikes. I want to help somebody.
Yeah. My family had always been involved in community service and things like that when I was growing up. And I had the opportunity to go observe a session at someone's home and see what it was about. And after I did that, I just, kind of, just saw, the need there was and how it would fit with, what I enjoy doing, which is, having fun and teaching and, just getting to, interact with children, that type of thing.
Right, I hear you. Now, what I want to do, like I said, I want to go back to the fire for a minute because people got a lot of mixed messages about that situation. Some people saying that, you knew the guy, y'all was cool. The guy didn't like you. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I pulled up 7 in the morning on Monday, and there's a person sitting in the police car who I had no idea who it was. Not whatsoever. It wasn't until later in the day that I found out who this person was and the relationship to our business. It turns out that he is an employee of a company that we work with, that we work with on a weekly and daily basis. So it was just crazy, to...
Yeah, I hear you. So, but the thing about it, when you came up and you saw that fire, let's go back to that for 1 minute. Was it like a dream? You said you started getting phone calls first, though, right?
Yeah. My neighbor, Herman, is calling me on the phone over and over. He's like, "Hey, I got this guy here. Your couch is on fire. You need to hurry up." And then another voicemail, another one, and I didn't know what to say. I just drove down there and I pulled up, and it's flooding out everywhere. So I was worried about the flood. I'm like, what's going on? And then I walk in the front door, and it was just devastating, to see
wow.
the past 20 months of my work coming to this point. We literally have finished our facility a month ago.
Right.
And just to see it all either burned or just flooded or, damaged in some way, it was just devastating.
Yeah. Did the fire, that whole situation, it didn't only hurt you. If somebody did it to hurt you and the people of the business, like I said in the intro, can you speak on it hurt the children, it hurt the families? Can you speak on that?
Yeah. I mean, we are right now with only a facility of its kind in Las Vegas, in that we're providing a generalized setting for children to practice new skills like skateboarding or music, that type of thing, and then also practice social skills. So right now, we're the only place that they currently have to do those things. So when there's no other outlet, it's hurting the kids so much, that they have their tutoring and their therapies that they do, but they need a place to interact with other kids, and that's the biggest part. And then also, all of our employees. We currently employ 20 people that have missed out on a week of work now.
Wow.
And possibly even more, depending on what we can get back up and running.
Right. So what are y'all telling the parents right now? What's like a substitute right now for that? I know you said nothing's going on, but I mean, are you trying to do something with them on the side? Like, here, y'all come over to this other building and let's try to work. I mean, what's been done?
We're hoping to be open today, this afternoon. So if everything goes well this afternoon, we'll continue at that. And we have 10,000 square feet, so we've basically just like quarantined off the damaged area, and we've created classrooms out in the warehouse space,
right,
and created a lobby, and so we're making do with that. We also donate space to a local nonprofit called Feet of Southern Nevada.
Okay.
And they do not have an office now, so they're completely out until we rebuild their office area.
They supposed to be here with us today too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, we trying to give a double dose of love to you guys, man, and help, y'all get it back up and running. Mm-hmm. But what would you like to say to the families and the children that are going through this right now? Throw them a love line, man. I'm gonna let you go on and throw that love out there, because you so on fire, man, right now. I see it in your eyes, your smile, and when I brought them up right now, smile just shot across your face, man. That's real true love.
Yeah. I mean, most of all, I guess I've never realized how much support we really have. This past week, I haven't even been able to return phone calls or emails because I've just had so much, and I just want to thank everybody for all the support they've been giving us, and everybody's offering to come and help or bring food, and we've received so many donations as well, and I just, like you said, it makes me and everybody else realize how much support we have and how much everybody else really cares about what we're doing. We appreciate that.
Right. And how important is it, for people to reach out right now and help you guys? How needed is it? I mean, you can tell it better than me. You know, how needed is it right now, and what do y'all need? I wanted to get all this out and open first before we even do an interview, you know what I'm saying? Because I definitely want to bless you guys with this airtime and whatever I can do for you guys, and, you know, make sure that you get this and we play it and help you get back on your feet, because you are needed in the community. You're a hero. You know, you're a hero to these families, and I definitely want you to have that help.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what do we need? That's what you're asking me, right?
Right.
I mean, you know, we have an insurance policy, right? And we the thing is that it's not going to cover our full amount of cost associated with getting back up and running. So, in asking for those donations, the gap that we're trying to bring closer, so that we can continue to be open and so that we can move forward. So, you know, we have a $25,000 policy basically that we're hoping to get fully reimbursed for. But, you know, we really have more like 50,000, say, in damages, and say like also missed work as far as not being able to run our lessons and not being able to pay our employees. So, you know, basically we're trying to pay our employees and pay our bills for this period of time, and, you know, have the resources to get back up and open. You know, a lot of it's furniture that we're replacing, and a lot of it is electronics and computers and that type of stuff.
So y'all need donations if people got furniture and if they got computers and
I mean, right now, you know, we're still going through stuff, so, you know, a lot of people ask if they can bring stuff over, but we're kind of just waiting a little bit until we can, you know, fully go through everything. You know, we don't want people to be bringing stuff towards our already huge pile of stuff that we're trying to go through.
You know what, do y'all have something on the website?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, our website's LasVegasAutism.com, and we also have Facebook, which is Facebook /Sports Social, and on there you guys can, you know, contact us and let us know you know, what type of support you guys can give, or donations, or whatever you can. You know, we appreciate everything.
Okay, what do you do for donations?
What do you mean by that?
On the site, it's on something on there for donations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a donate button on there, and there's also an email that you could email us about, you know, maybe something you have that you could share with us, or yeah. I
hear you. Miss Peaches, chime in.
It's really important to hear this call for the community, because, I mean, that's just so unfortunate that happened to you guys, and just crazy timing, isn't it, Cogee? Because they were going to be on our show last week, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy for that to have gone on. So I hope whoever's listening right now can bring something to the table for them to help them get through this as easily as possible, because on the other side of all of this are the children. And the children are missing out. And one thing that we know about autism is that most of the children need a schedule. They need what they're used to. And when something gets thrown in there that's not normal, that really throws them off balance, and it can cause, you know, problems for them. So if we can get them back to up and running where they need to be and helping the kids, that's what we need. That's the blessing that we need.
That's right. And, you know, I definitely, like I said, wanted to donate, you know, this airtime to him. I definitely wanted to put the message out there, and I felt like, you know, Andrew can tell the story better than me. And that's why I told him, Andrew, if I'm missing anything, you wave your hand and let me know, and you come in and say whatever needs to be said and whatever needs to be heard, because this is your time and we celebrating you. So let me go to a phone call real quick. Big Blaze, how you doing today? Okay.
Hey, how you doing? Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? You had a delay right there. I thought you wasn't doing good. I asked how was you doing, and I ain't heard nothing. So I thought you was having a bad day.
I didn't hear you say my name. I didn't hear you say my name. No, I hear you, man. I'm doing all right. How you?
That's cool, man. I'm blessed, man. Today's show, Autism, the Real Truth. How important is it for us to get the message out there, Big Blaze?
Well, it's vital, because the only true awareness is the truth, you know, and. Yeah. If people are asking questions about that, it's probably because there's so many lies around them that they can't see it anymore.
You know what? You're definitely right about that. And to anybody that's just tuning in, hey, today's show, Autism, the Real Truth. And this is, like I said, we're going to come with the real truth today. And, you know, Andrew's in today, and he's definitely going to break it down for us, you know, everything we need to know. But you know what? One thing I want to ask you, what do you say to some parents that feel defeated, but they hide it behind a smile, Andrew? And I know you see that all the time. They really wore down, but they're not going to show it, and they keep smiling. What would you like to say to those parents?
You know, I always try to provide support to the parents. You know, that's definitely a big part in my role. And just trying to, you know, show them other cases of other families and how other kids have made it through, and other parents have done the same. there's so many success stories related with autism. You know, every child is different, and every child has the ability to learn and grow. So I think parents just need to be reminded, you know, that there's support, and there's, you know, things that you can do, and your child will make progress, and things won't always be like this. You know, there are some tough times definitely for parents and kids.
If your child is diagnosed with autism, is that a lost child? Is that a thrown away child? That's what some people seem to think. Society don't know because they ain't heard. But that's a lot of stuff. Like when people know I'm having these shows, this is all the stuff that I hear. So when I ask you these questions, this is what that was said to me this weekend, and I'm asking you. If your child is diagnosed with autism, is that a lost child? Definitely
not, obviously. No, I think you and I know that.
Oh, right.
But, you know, a child with autism, a lot of times they struggle with some things that seem really easy and common sense, but then they really excel in other areas. So I think it's important to look at the abilities of children with autism and really try to push those things that they're really good at. You know, some kids maybe can memorize the entire, you know, dictionary and remember every president from you know, whenever they started to now, and there's just different abilities that they have, and I think it's important to not only look at their disability but also look at their abilities.
And I was blown away when I was studying it, and you know, some children, they hadn't talked for like 13 years, 7 years, but then they got the new handhelds where they could spell out everything. And the parents was just busting out crying, going, oh my God, I'm having a conversation with my child after 13 years, after 7 years. But the way they was writing it and the way that the voice would kick the message back out to them, the parents was just breaking down because they was like, I just been wanting to tell you I love you. I just been wanting to tell you thank you. I just been wanting to tell you I see that you tired. And I'm not stupid. One little child said, I'm not stupid. I'm not crazy. I'm not retarded. I'm just locked in. I'm just trying to express. And it brought tears to my eyes because I'm going to tell you why. Even with me listening to it and watching it, is because it's like they in a prison. You know what I'm saying? And until somebody slide them a piece of paper and a pen, that's when they free. You get what I'm saying? And they open it up. How amazing is that, Andrew?
That's crazy. Yeah, I've heard so many stories just like that, you know, from you know, the iPads and all the electronics. You know, they've done so much help for these kids nowadays, and yeah, man. I mean, there's so many of those, and yeah.
And we definitely gonna get into your story. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take a break for a minute, and then we'll be right back. And I definitely want you to we're gonna talk about all the great things that you're doing, because like I said, you definitely are a hero in the community. And like I said, your business will be back up and running, and God has definitely been blessing you, and you've been blessing the children. So we're gonna talk about it. So everybody, I want y'all to stay locked in, stay tuned in. You're listening to Conversations with Cogee. Title of the show today, Autism, the Real Truth. We got Andrew DeVitt in today, and he's the founder of Sports Social, and he's definitely great to bring it to us strong and tell us what can we do, where they can be located, where you can come and have a talk with him, and where you can bring your child to have your child overcome whatever, hey, doctor said that it was. We're going to prove them that it ain't. And that's what I love about Andrew, and that's what he's doing. So stay locked in, guys. To everybody all around the world, thank you for listening to us. We got love for you guys, and we would love for your feedback. You know, hit us on the web and, you know, ask us questions, and we'll ask Andrew. So much love. We'll be right back, guys. Stay locked in. Hey, we back, everybody. Welcome back to Conversations with Cogee. We got Andrew DeVitt, founder of Sports Social. Title of the show today, Autism, the Real Truth. And we definitely getting down to it. I got my regulators on the phone with me. Miss Peaches, what's up to you?
It's just everything, Coach. I'm loving the show so far. You have a great guest in the studio with you. You know, and he's been doing it big since he was 17, and that's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations.
You know that's right.
Thank you.
Big Blaze. Big Blaze is on serious delay. Big Blaze. All right, we got to keep it moving. So we got, Andrew DeVitt in, like I said, founder of Sports Social. So, Andrew, I want to ask you a question. I mean, what is autism?
You know, autism can be described in so many different ways, but, you know, basically it's a disorder where children have deficits in the area of social and communication and repetitive behaviors. You know, it's a general, you know, like I said, there's so many different ways to describe it, but basically it's affecting communication, social, and their overall behaviors.
Okay. And, you know, something else I wanted to ask you. If a child is considered a bad child in class and just a nuisance, you know, and they feel like he's a little Dennis the Menace, can they be described in the wrong way, or can you take that acting out and it's autism? You get what I'm saying? When it really comes to find out that they acting out because they autistic.
Yeah, I mean, like a big part of again, the disability of autism is their behaviors. So they're acting in different ways and they respond to things in different ways. So that definitely can come out as, looking at like a child that's, having bad behaviors, or like a spoiled kid or something like that. It can seem like that. But a lot of times, it needs to be looked at in a different way. Maybe they don't have a diagnosis, or maybe they do. But, if people are aware of things like autism, then they might think like, oh, maybe he has autism, or maybe he has a special need that we should look at. Maybe we need to do this differently. Maybe we need to change the way we're doing it.
I hear you. You know what? And in your process and in you growing in this field of doing what you're doing, when did you notice something was missing? What made you notice the gap right there? Like, something is missing, and I'm going to capitalize off this and make sure that I fill the bridge, to help the families come across to something good for the children.
Yeah. I worked in these things called ABA home programs, where you're teaching basically every little piece that needs to be put back together that a child hasn't learned by themselves. So in doing that, I realized that there wasn't enough fun, and there wasn't enough of like interacting with kids and getting that social piece, and learning typical things. So in doing that, I was always the guy on the teams. It was always a group of girls. So when I was doing that with them, I would always kind of get put on the sports thing. You do this sports, or you take them out to a community outing. So I saw that, I was the only one doing it. Nobody else was. And
right.
Saw that there was a need, and saw that, it could be done, and that, there wasn't anything else out there. That's kind of how I came up with it.
How did the children respond to the field trips and the outings and going to play with other kids and, being able to play sports? How did they respond to that?
Yeah, obviously they loved it, and the other people on the team would always, because I worked with a group of people, they feel like, oh, you're doing the fun stuff and we have to do the hard stuff, and but yeah, the kids loved it, and they enjoyed it. It's just that it needed some other component to really make it a little bit more efficient. Like as far as, I would go take them on these things, but I wasn't taking it as serious, I guess. It was more of like the fun thing. But I guess so, my idea was to take those fun things and also use those same ideas in the classroom to really make it beneficial, and also the kids would be having fun.
I hear you. So you want to break it down and you want to let us know, what is sports social?
Yeah, so basically Sports Social, we're teaching social skills to children with autism. That's our main focus in whatever we're doing. And we're doing that through sports and the arts. So we're teaching skateboarding, bike riding, scootering, basketball, soccer. We're also doing music lessons, and we're doing art classes, drama classes.
That's cool.
And then we have 8 different social skills groups where kids are learning things in the classroom, from peer connections to boundaries to feelings, all that kind of stuff. So again, our focus is social skills, and we're doing that through different activities to teach it.
And you know what? How does it make you feel when you have a child that can't stay focused, but yet you're teaching them how to ride a bike, or you're teaching them how to ride a skateboard, something that takes focus to do, and they accomplish it? How do you feel at the end of the day? And even their parents are probably so nervous, like, no, don't let them try that, or don't let them do that. Some parents are like, well, you got to go through it to know, ones that's understanding. But how do you get the ones that just love their baby so much and they still want to protect them, and you try to convince them that, no, they got to do this. You got to let them stretch out to know. How do you handle that?
We try to, push that as much as possible, that our biggest role is providing the social opportunity, but it's also providing with opportunity they would have never received anywhere else,
Right.
Like where else are they going to learn how to skateboard, or where else are they going to get pushed in this way? So I do everything just by showing, I bring in a family, and I don't just tell them, I show them. I said, let me teach your child how to ride really quick, and they're like, oh, you can't ride, we've tried it so many times and we can't do it, and all this stuff. So I try to show them, and say, look, and ask the child, do you want to go in the bounce house? And he's like, yeah, I want to go in the bounce house. So,
right.
Like, all right, let's ride the bike first, So we just try to motivate the children and make the parents feel comfortable.
Right.
But, I mean, the reward of teaching a child like that how to ride a bike that can't sit still or can't talk, is so rewarding. And that's where I initially saw that, that passion, I guess, when I first taught a child how to ride a bike.
Right, I hear you. And one more thing I want to ask you real quick. What are y'all doing different, and what can parents do that y'all doing somewhat to already get the process started before they bring the child to y'all that can make it even more easier and make the success more quicker with the help already being provided, you know, by the parents?
I mean, I guess the biggest thing that we're doing and we're reinforcing with the parents is that always trying to encourage conversation and not allowing your child to get through without speaking. You know, I mean,
locked up.
Yeah, you know, some children don't have the ability, so that's okay. You know, you can do other things and practice other things, but you know, most have some ability as far as some conversation. So we just try to make sure that, like, if a child goes and just gives you something or pulls on something, instead of just letting him do that, making sure that he's using his words and asking and using full sentences and that type of stuff, you know, is really important. And then also just, you know, pushing your kids, making them do stuff. You know, there's kind of that border. Some parents don't want to push. Some kind of want to let them feel it out and do the stuff on their own. But our big thing is just pushing and pushing.
I hear you. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to go to a phone call real quick. Okay. We got to call in Mr. Matthew Cox, who will be in with us today in the third hour. Definitely calling in, showing love to you right now. Matt, how you doing today?
I'm good, Coach. Well, I just want to comment on what your guest is doing with the sports around autism, because being in the industry for 20 years, he's really took something that's so important for the parents, because having a child with autism, it's not only challenging, but the parents need to have that outlet, and he's created an outlet for the parents to let the kids go have fun. And a lot of times when I work with parents with autism, I always have to, you know, work with their emotional side of things, because it's, you know, parenting a child with a disability is not easy. And I think he's really created a great thing. So I thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
It's very innovative, and I love to hear individuals that go in the industry and become innovative with mental health instead of doing the same thing over and over, like you were saying, that a lot of the agencies were just doing the same thing and not getting any results. And as we know what Einstein says, that's insanity, the same thing without anything changing, right?
Yeah.
And so I love what you're doing with the sports and just helping it. You know, and I bet the great thing as a provider just to see the smile on those kids' faces and realize they did something, because there's all different perspectives, or, you know, autism is a different thing. There's very high-functioning autism and there's very low. But at the end of the day, they just are big kids. They love to have fun, and they love to have people invest time into them. So thank you so much for what you do.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you, man, in the third hour.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, man. All right. See you soon. You know, I definitely got a person out of town, and she's going to call in a minute, and she wants to ask you a question, you know, about autism. She says she has a family member that's autistic, and, you know, she want to ask you a question about it, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? You can tell it better than me. You know what I'm saying? And you just light up when we talk about it. But you know what? How does sports social start?
You know, we kind of went over it a little bit. When I was 17, I was working with the kids. Quickly after, I started, you know, being the one that did the sports and the outings like we talked about. And then I started teaching one boy how to skateboard, started teaching another, you know, and then I started teaching one boy how to ride a bike. And like I said, I think that's really where I really became passionate about it. Seeing, you know, so quickly this child learn how to ride a bike independently was great, you know, for the child and also for me. And from there, you know, I started teaching more and more kids, you know, and I gained a reputation for teaching these kids things that parents didn't think they could. And quickly after, you know, I decided to, you know, I saved up $7,500. I got a $7,500 loan, and with $15,000, I opened up my first space in a 4,000 square foot warehouse.
I hear you, man.
And you know, it just kept rolling from there, you know.
And people think, like you said, things just been given to you. It's been a struggle, sound like, you know, as far as you trying to make it happen somewhat.
I think I definitely took every opportunity I had, you know. There wasn't an opportunity that I missed. I definitely was in the right time in the right place, but I also gave it everything I had, you know. I've never done so much work in my life. I mean, I'm young, but still, you know, I definitely gave it everything I had, and I also took every opportunity that I had.
I hear you, man. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to another phone call. Vaughn, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm blessed. All the way from across the world. That's how we like to reach our people. Definitely.
Absolutely. You're doing an amazing job. So,
Thank you. Are you enjoying the show?
I am. I'm absolutely loving it. So it's it's really touched home with me because my nephew is autistic. So it's amazing just to hear the outreach. I do have a question, though. One thing that I've seen is that, or I kind of feel that a lot of teachers in the school system or doctors are very quick to diagnose children with other things like attention deficit disorder and things that fall under that category and medicate them when really the issue lies at home and parenting. And I just wanted to see what your guys' thoughts were on that.
I mean, it's really hard to say, not knowing the child and not knowing the situation. But I think there's a place for everything in every situation. It's possible that medication would be helpful, but it's also possible that it wouldn't. It's not necessary. I think that medication should be, one of the last things that you come to.
Got that right.
But I think that it sometimes is helpful. But I think you need to try everything through behavioral approaches before you go to medication. So as far as, again, like I was saying before, like looking at how the parent or whoever it is who's dealing with him, changing how they're doing it and modifying whatever it is to make it so the child learns best or to make it so the child is successful. So I know it doesn't really answer your question, but do you have any other? Yeah.
No, I agree 100% with you. My sister does an amazing job with my nephew. I was just wondering what your thought process is upon. Do you feel that a lot of doctors resort to that instead of getting to the core of the problem? Like, say a child is hyperactive at school or, has issues at school, and that's the easier way for people to deal with it versus dealing with the parenting skills.
I think definitely. Definitely, I've heard that all the time. That doctors are quick to try to diagnose, and then quickly give after medications and things like that. So I think maybe going to different people would be helpful. Not seeing a doctor, instead seeing a behavioral consultant, or going to a local company that provides applied behavioral analysis or that type of stuff. Just go to a different service provider, I think, would help get some answers that you or your sister's looking for.
Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. And, like I said, anytime you hear something, you got the number. Call in and ask our guest. It's going to be a long show today. It's 3 hours long. Just call in and ask the question that can help your family. All right?
Great. Thank you all.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
So what I want to tell you too, Andrew, me and Matthew Cox from the Never Give Up Foundation and from the Hands Off Our Children Foundation, we got a donation for you that we want to give you.
Great.
We want to definitely, both of our organizations, me and him work together hand in hand doing our shows, and we both want to bless you and make sure that, we do that for you.
Thank you.
Okay. If you don't got nothing to do today, you can stay and you can be in the third hour with us. Because we having like a round table discussion, and if your voice want to be heard, you more than welcome.
Okay.
Is it cool?
I mean, I think I need to get back. But,
okay. All right.
Just because like I said, we're dealing with fire and cleaning up still, and I wanted to make it out here, and and talk with you guys, but I need to get back.
Well, I just want to make sure that, like I said, everything you need to be said, can be said. But another thing, I want to ask you, how many people do you employ, with your business?
Yeah, we currently employ 20 people, from sports instructors to social skills to art, drama, music, basically 20 people that are also currently ABA home program tutors. So they have that experience somewhere else, and they also bring it here.
Okay. How many children do y'all service?
225 a week.
Wow, that's cool.
It's been building, yeah.
What is Project Vesto?
Project Vesto is this competition that we entered a few months ago, and it is a Nevada small business startup competition. We were one of 250 businesses. We pitched our business idea to a group of investors here in Nevada, and explained what our idea was, all that kind of stuff. And a few weeks ago, they named us top 12. So we made it to top 12 out of the competition. And now in a few weeks, online voting will start, and it's up to the community to vote for the business that they feel will create the most jobs and is most innovative and benefit the community the most. the winner will receive a $100,000 grant.
Okay.
So, that's what we're going for.
So if you got the $100,000 grant, what is I know you got a lot of plans now, but what is your plans, to build this whole situation up and, like I said, finish blessing your community?
Most importantly, we want to be able to receive, and take third-party funding, whether it's from the state or Medicaid or insurance. That's our goal, is to be able to set up the infrastructure and hire the employees and create the training processes so that we can take third-party funding. Is the biggest piece to that.
I hear you. So when can people start to vote?
You know what? They deleted a couple weeks. So I believe, we could say in 3 weeks they can vote, and you can vote for us online at voteautism.com.
Okay.
And 3 weeks or so you can vote for us.
All right. So my producer, go on and put our vote in right now real quick. So she's going to go online and vote right now from us and the Never Give Up Foundation. We want to make sure we do what we can do to help you. And you know what? Another thing, are there any other businesses like Sports Social?
Yeah, not that we know of in the country. Definitely not in Las Vegas. But we're trying to. We've created an area that, like I said, doesn't exist right now. So we're trying to work out everything that it is and how it all works. So we can take it to other places.
Right. And you know what? What's some encouraging words you would like to give the families out there, and just encouraging words for our listeners to understand, because some people feel like, I got this perfect child, and well, my child, all my children are great and I don't have that to worry about. But somewhere down your family tree, this could come up. Nobody's immune to this. Am I right or wrong? No families, no children.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you speak on that?
I think, like we talked about, it's important to look at the child's abilities and make sure you're paying attention to that and helping that child do better in the abilities that they have, and also finding resources, a place like FEET of Southern Nevada or us, or there's so many in every city that you can go to get help and to not give up and think that, there's no answers and that you can't do anything about it.
Right.
Just to keep looking and just to keep trying.
Okay. And one more thing I want to ask you before I break you out, and it's been a great show today, a lot of information. And like I said, I'm definitely blessed that you blessed me to interview you and to help you out with this, because I've been wanting to do my autism shows, but for some reason, everybody was busy. I don't understand it. I see it in magazines, billboards, on TV, everywhere. But every time I do the show, everybody's busy. Now, who don't want free publicity to help the children? This is the fourth time that me and my team try to do it, and everybody's busy. And today, the way things balanced out, what happened with you and, the fire and all that, you got to come in and you got to express everything. So people got to hear, your story and about, your organization and what you're trying to do. But words of encouragement to the parents that's really struggling to hold on, but they doing it.
Yeah. Like I said, just don't give up, just keep trying and, again, reinforce those abilities of your child and look for resources that you can that will help them in areas that they need help.
I hear you.
And,
Okay. Miss Peaches, chime in real quick. Words of encouragement. What you like to say to Andrew?
I just want to say, Andrew, good job. Keep up the good work. You're definitely an inspiration, and it's good to know, Cogee, that there are young men that are out there doing big things. And it's like we had our show week before last. We had a lot of strong men on the phone and in the studio, and I feel like we just had a continuation of that, having Andrew with us today. So good job, and keep up the good work, even through these hard times.
Thank you.
You're definitely right. Okay, so like I said, we got Mr. Andrew DeVitt. He's the founder of Sports Social. He's been on the show with us today. I want to tell you personally, thank you, man.
Thank you.
And I do appreciate you, and you are a hero to me in the community, and I do look up to you for that, and you keep up the great work.
Thanks.
All right. So everybody, y'all stay locked in. Let me tell you, we got another second great hour. We got the lady in right now. Everybody's full of smiles. They look like they ready to do this. They love helping these children, and I do too. And we all about helping the community. So y'all stay locked in, and we'll be right back with another great hour, bringing some great information. And I'm loving it. I'll be right back. Stay tuned in.